Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, David Ndii is the current economic advisor of William Samoei Ruto, a man who is playing a very critical role in Kenya Kwanza. A man also, many believe that was behind the bottom-up model of approach to the economy. Something that Ruto has been using for the longest time. And so, David Ndii Wife is also looking for becoming the next governor of Kiambu County. But she might be going on independent ticket, not UDA, not Jubilee. And so, Mwende Ndii, who is David Ndii Wife, was at TV47 on an interview. And during the interview, she went further to disclose that her husband discouraged her from using bottom-up economic model campaign in Kiambu County when she's looking for the elective seat. And they have reason behind that. Again, this is what TV47 shared on their Twitter handle during the interview. That is David Ndii Wife saying, this is what they quoted her saying, "I'm going independent because it is not political party that work but individuals. Mzee, in bracket, David Ndii is working for UDA and he is the first person who told me bottom up is not for Kiambu or Nakuru. All other counties are trying to get where these counties are. Mwende Ndii." And Pauline Njoroge also shared the video. And this is what Pauline Njoroge reacted on this video. She's on her Facebook page. This is what she's saying. "The author of UDA's bottom-up model, David Ndii, discouraged his wife from running as governor on a UDA ticket, telling her that his party economic model is not for Kiambu. This sounds something like, let's slow down the horses so that the donkey can catch up."
So this time round, he's in the UDA team.
Yeah.
He's their strategic advisor. He is actually the initiator, the author, I would say that, of the bottom-up economic model. The first conversation I had with him about running as governor of Kiambu, he's the first person who told me, but remember, bottom-up economics model is not for Kiambu. You know, it's not for, he actually said two places. It's not for Kiambu, it's not for Nakuru. Why? Kiambu is a very wealthy county.
Okay.
How we will grow from where we are already, by the way, in Kenya, I would say a middle class.
A middle class, okay.
Yeah? If we were a country by ourselves, we would be a middle class country.
Okay.
We are already there. This is where all the other counties are aspiring to be. Okay. Bottom-up economic model works for these other counties to get to the level where Kiambu is.
Okay.
So he's very clear in his mind. You know, so his alignment politically does not mean that also his economic thinking. No, actually, not.
Now we are continuing with our panel discussion, but I have a quick request. You might be watching this channel, but you have not yet subscribed. So my humble request, please consider subscribing so that any other time, once we release a video like this one, you will always get notified. Again, to all our channel subscribers and anyone who drop comment, I must say thank you so much for your unconditional support. Again, I'm requesting you to give this video a thumbs up so that YouTube can recommend our video to more viewers. Back to our discussion. Now, generally, William Ruto has been using bottom-up economic model in his campaign across the entire country, and especially when Ruto gets to Mount Kenya region. That's where he will tell people where and where, and all those manner of things, Mama Mboga, the boda, the hustler, all manner of things. Ruto has used them to explain what bottom-up model of economic is. But no one has understood up to now what this bottom-up is. That's the truth. And so, if David Ndii drafted bottom-up, he gave it to William Samoei Ruto. Ruto has used it to campaign in the entire country. So my question I'm asking here today, is David Ndii, if you want to use what his wife is saying here, is he confirming to Kenyans that because Kiambu will not buy into bottom-up approach model, then can we confirm and say that Ruto will not get votes from Kiambu County? Because definitely, Kenya Kwanza has been built up, and even UDA party, on a bottom-up model of economy. So, in my view, I can conclude and say that David Ndii Wife is telling Kenyans, and whoever cares to listen, that the people of Kiambu County might not buy into bottom-up that Ruto is selling. Remember, Kiambu attract more than 1.5 million votes. Very rich county in terms of population. So is this a confirmation that Ruto has no votes in Kiambu? Because even the author of the bottom-up does not believe that his people in Kiambu can buy into that issue. Again, they have talked about Nakuru. She's mentioning Nakuru also. That bottom-up approach cannot work in Nakuru County. So again, is this another confirmation that Ruto might not get votes in Nakuru County? Because if he's coming with a model that will not work for the residents, then how can they buy into that model? Because again, beside bottom-up, there's no any other solution Ruto has for those people who are not buying to a bottom-up. So if you don't have a second solution for these people, in simple terms, David Ndii Wife, and if he advised the wife on the direction to take into this spot, we can conclude and say that both of these two people are confirming to Kenyans that the people of Nakuru and Kiambu will not buy into bottom-up. So if you go to Nakuru, we're talking about 1.5 million votes. Then Kiambu, so are you talking about 2.5 million votes that Ruto is going to lose into this election because of the kind of economic model he's selling to the people? If Kiambu will not buy into what his wife will be selling if she go for bottom-up, then it means even when Ruto will come with bottom-up, no one will buy into that. Again, number two, is David Ndii confirming to us that even himself, he does not believe in what he has given William Samoei Ruto as the agenda to sell to Kenyans. David Ndii does not believe in bottom-up that he has drawn and presented to William Samoei Ruto. So in other words, is David Ndii sabotaging William Samoei Ruto in Kenya Kwanza? Because there's no way David Ndii can mislead his wife. If it is giving advice, he will give the right advice to the wife. Because if the wife is in this campaign, I'm sure even Ndii has to donate some resources to the wife. Because going for the governor seat, you need a well-oiled campaign. So you need enough resources. So he might be part of the people who are funding the wife. And for that reason, you cannot fund someone, then you misadvise the same person. So I want to take this one as the best advice David Ndii is giving to the wife. So it means he is speaking from the bottom of his heart. And if we can translate this, we can go ahead and say that it is going to be very hard for Kenyans, and especially for the middle class, to buy into the bottom-up issue. Kwani watu wa middle class ni wachache Kenya. There are so many. So, in other words, bottom-up will not sell to Kenyans. That is what David Ndii is telling the wife. And you see, when Ruto came with the Hustler Nation, I think everyone was buying into this. But by the time he turned into bottom-up, people started getting confused with the bottom-up issue in the entire country. And now we don't know, as he go forward, how he's going to sell his agenda. Will it continue to be bottom up or hustler, or he's going to resolve into what? Because now he brought in other people like Mwende Ndii, an economist, a person who don't believe in bottom up. Because the other time, when Mwende Ndii was it Kiambu? If not Kiambu, then somewhere in Mount Kenya region, one of the counties. And Ndii demonstrated using a bottle what bottom up means for Kenyans. It means someone getting all the resources, then swindling. So generally, even the people around William Samoei Ruto does not believe in bottom up. Number 1, David Ndii, and number 2, Mwende Ndii, number 3, Senator Wetangula. These people don't believe in bottom up.
Economy ya trickle down economy, trickle down effect. Mwingine anasema bottoms up. If you did this and you say bottoms up, this is the bottom. Mtu anameza kila kitu. Na mwananchi atapata nini? And how are you going to finance this economy? Ya kusema bottoms up. Kwa sababu ushuru pia umegonga wananchi. Kwa hivyo ni lazima tuwe na mpangilio ya kuhakikisha kwamba pesa, kwa sababu pia mama hataki kusukumwa sana na watu.
Alafu wale wakulima wadogo, unajua ni wangapi? Kenya mzima milioni 4. Hao watu wote ni milioni 22. 22 million Kenyans in the informal economy. Ukiamua kuwapatia wote ati pesa 100,000, je, wanasema watawapea 100,000? Hiyo ni trilioni 2, 2.2 trillion. Na budget ya Kenya ni trilioni 3. Sio ni uongo?
So if David Ndii is not misleading the wife, something that I believe he cannot mislead the wife, then he's leading William Samoei Ruto to a ditch. After this election, if Ruto want to focus on bottom up, then he's going to totally fail. So David Ndii might be in Kenya Kwanza but working for someone else in this camp, but not for William Samoei Ruto. And to make it worse, Ruto, there was a time Ruto was explaining on how he's going to lift the life of the poor, the mama mboga, and how he's going to get the fund to give these people. In fact, he was promising, was it about 100 million for each and every constituency? And Sakaja had a good question for William Samoei Ruto, because Sakaja came out with the exact mathematics on what William Samoei Ruto was trying to explain. Now, lastly, I asked myself a question. If Ndii is in UDA and Kenya Kwanza, why is his wife going on independent ticket, of which we know she cannot become the governor, other than joining UDA party? Because by joining UDA party, she will be helping to avoid splitting the votes. So generally, David Ndii wife does not believe in William Ruto. And even Ndii himself, because they cannot convince the wife, he does not believe in William Samoei Ruto. I don't know what to think about this, but that's my view.